Hey guys, I'm here reviewing my Filco Majestouch 2. This is the TKL version, Tenkeyless. Um, it's just a black model. I've got the Raindrop V2 keycap set on it from Signature Plastics. It doesn't look that good. I'm going to change it, but I haven't been using the board recently, so I haven't had a chance to change it. But yeah, just kind of wanted to show you guys the board. This is an ABS keycap set, similar to the OEM Filco keys that were on it. Of course, because it's the Signature Plastics DCS, it's a bit lower, a bit more angled on the bottom, so the keys are actually a little bit deeper into the case. So actually, when you push it down, it's kind of neat. It's almost flat to the case on the top of the arrow keys. It has a kind of funny feel to it. Some people may not like that. This one is Cherry MX Reds, linear switches. I like the MX Reds. I like a lot of the MX keys. I kind of feel like I like to change it up every once in a while, and I'm pretty comfortable with most of them, except maybe like some of the heavier ones like the gray. I have a board with greens that I'm still getting used to. Clears are alright too. I'm comfortable with the clears, but I have to say that the reds, the browns, and the blues are probably, with stock MX switches, are probably my favorite. I do like the ergo clears if you're going to start modifying them, and you know, a lot of the Gator-on switches are quite nice too. So let's just talk about this board here. The Filco Majestouch is a very popular board. It's been around for a long time, hasn't changed a whole lot. You know, it's TKL version. There's caps lock and scroll lock, red LEDs there to indicate when they are active. It's a plastic case, attached USB cable. You can't remove it, unfortunately. Bottom there, it's made in Taiwan. It's made, CoStar is the OEM manufacturer for the Filco boards. So they use the CoStar stabilizers in them. Same as the earlier DOS keyboards, the WASD codes, WASD V2 boards, and maybe some others that I'm not remembering at the moment. So yeah, so the CoStar stabilizers, or stabs, or whatever you see guys calling them, they're the ones that have the metal swinging piece underneath the larger keys, that you have to kind of jiggle the key to get out, and then it has a little white stabilizer plastic pieces that fit into the back of the keycap. And for those of you that do buy Signature Plastic sets and don't have any CoStar stabilizers and not aware of it, the CoStar stabilizers don't work that well with Signature Plastics key sets because they don't fit. The Signature Plastics, the holes are a bit too big, so they don't fit properly. So you have to actually get like a piece of Scotch tape or something to stick in there so that they fit properly. I've done that with several boards. It's not a big deal. You just rip a tiny little square of Scotch tape out, stick it on the clip, and bam, just stick it right in there. It's fine. So yeah, just one of the things I noticed that I always found interesting is that the exact same key switch, exact same keycap on a different board feels completely different. This one here is MX Reds. I have a couple other MX Reds as well, but most of the MX Red boards I have are quite solid. They all feel similar, not identical, but similar enough. So I mean, just one of the other ones here is my Ducky. You're the horse here. Like it. Those are. I mean, these are DSA caps, but they are ABS. They sound different, probably because they're DSA. But on this board, on the Ducky, they feel more solid. They just do. It's a little bit more solid than this. Even though the Filco is still pretty solid, like, it feels hard. Like when I push down the board, there's no flex really. There's a tiny bit, not as much as say like an acrylic board or some of the other boards I have. But this but the ducky is just like a rock, and it's probably because it's got completely solid aluminum case. And that's just one of those things that I find that, like, when you're buying a Switch, I mean, some people think, oh, well, as long as it's the same Switch, it's gonna feel the same, but it doesn't. I mean, not even talking about switching from Cherry to Gatoron or anything like that. Here, we're talking about the exact same Switch. Feels completely different. Not completely different, but different enough that is something I want to consider. Like, I would say that with my MX Browns, I've got 3 different boards with MX Browns. They all feel completely different, and to the point where it actually, I think that it feels more different. It almost feels like a completely different Switch. Like, and it kind of bothers me sometimes, because especially with some of the softer boards, I tend to enjoy the rigid boards. I do bottom out my keys a lot when I'm typing. I don't bottom out hard, but I do go all the way down to the bottom, right? So I do push all the way down. But I'm not like hammering on them, right? But I hammer on backspace a lot. Hammer on enter. But these other keys, I don't tend to hammer on. I guess sometimes because it's like bam right at the end. But yeah, so it's just something I want to talk about a little bit about. The Filco with reds, I would say that, on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of rigidity and stuff like that, it's probably more like a 8 or a 9. The ducky is probably a 10. And some of the other boards, like the DOS, I say is probably a 9 or a 10 as well. WASDs are probably more like 7 or an 8, maybe. It's interesting because there is quite a bit of difference in flex. And I'm not that sensitive of a typer guy, but I notice it quite easily. So, but yeah, what else to talk about the Filco? There's a slight slant to the Filco. You can see there. It's got rubber on the back here. It's got these razors here, rubber as well on these guys, which is kind of a nice feature. Some of them don't have the rubber here; they only got the rubber here and here. And then when you pop them up, there's no rubber on the feet. But Filco did a good job. Added the rubber to the feet like that. Nice little touch. Not the logo is here, in case you guys want to know. On the TKL at least. Not a lot of torque on this one. One thing I said I felt about the Filco that was quite good was it doesn't torque, it doesn't twist. There's no plastic creaky sounds when you try and torque it. Like when you try and torque the board, it's a good solid board. But it is a TKL. I do find that the full size boards tend to torque a little bit more. They are larger. So yeah. It's available in a couple different colors. Available with in the Ninja keycaps as well that are front printed. I change out my keycaps 100% of the time, so I don't really care what keycaps come on the board. I keep them there in case I don't like the board and I'm going to sell it, so I don't want to sell with no keycaps. But yeah, that's yeah. Hope you guys enjoy this short look at the Filco Majestouch 2 TKL.